Hello, everyone, and welcome in to another edition of JD's Wildcat World. Today we recap the Cats' first loss in a while. They lose on the road at Texas A&M by a score of 97-92. I'm going to go through, read some stats, and give my opinion on some things that happened during the game. But before I do that, thank you all for continuing to listen. And continue to subscribe, share, rate, review, and all those good things. Especially with us, everybody around locally in Kentucky. The majority of the state has a lot of snow, so if we're snowed in, hopefully you all are listening to this and enjoying it and having a good time. And if you got some time on your hands, go leave a review on Apple and Spotify for me. That would be huge. So everybody stay safe, stay warm, and I think, this is the most snow we've got around here in a bit. So woke up and the kids were loving seeing the snow on the ground and everywhere. So hope everyone stay safe, stay home. If you do not have anywhere that you absolutely have to be. But back to why we are here. Cats lose on the road to Texas A&M. Texas A&M was due for a game where they were really good offensively. I honestly thought, and if you listened last week, I thought if we could score 80, we were in good shape to win this game. We scored 92 and still lost. So I was honestly really shocked that Texas A&M kept up with us the whole game scoring. But a lot of it had to do with us not being able to defend the pick and roll. Went back and watched. Radford got to the rim whenever he wanted. Wade Taylor got to the rim whenever he wanted off of the pick and roll. That's something that we're really struggling with defending. We really struggled defending it last year. That's got to get better. The defense has just got to get better in general. Usually when you score 92, in a college basketball game, I'm thinking you win. I definitely thought we would beat Texas A&M if we put up 92 points. But, just couldn't get stops when we needed them, couldn't string stops together. And then in the overtime period, just couldn't score the ball, which was very strange. Seems like we got away from what we do best in overtime and just kind of, I don't know. It's weird. Once we forced overtime, and let me back up a second. We were down by like 5 with 2 minutes left, and Rob Dillingham just decides to go off, hitting 3 threes in a row. So awesome to see him get going. And I thought the shot at the end of regulation when we were down 2, and he shoots it from 3. I thought it was dropping. It looked so good off his hand. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to set Big Blue Nation on fire. Everybody's going to go crazy if this shot drops. And rimmed out, but Reed Shepherd's right there to get the board, and then he gets fouled with half a second left and steps up, and he's cheesing while the camera's on him, smiling from ear to ear because he knows he's about to drop these free throws in with ease, and he does that for the second Saturday in a row, crucial free throws, and sends the game into overtime. And as a Kentucky fan, you're thinking, man, if we came back from down 5 with 2 minutes left and forced this overtime, I think we got a good chance. And then overtime just did not go well for us. Couldn't get a stop and then couldn't score. Want to shout out, Antonio Reeves had another great game. 22 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of 10 from 3, 7 of 15 overall. I thought he played really, really well. Whenever we needed a bucket, he could get it. Once again, DJ Wagner. He keeps getting better and better. Once again, they could not stay in front of him. He got to the rim at will. Could have done a better job defending Wade Taylor, I felt like. But as far as the offense, DJ played a very good game. Trey Mitchell played 44 minutes, 8 points, 13 boards. Probably, honestly, and you say a guy grabs 13 boards and has a bad game. Offensively, probably the worst game Trey's had here. As a Cat, but he did so many other things well, grabbing 13 boards, having 6 assists, Those are all big numbers, so you couldn't take him off the floor, even though he was struggling offensively. Played a good game in other areas. Justin Edwards, only 22 minutes, 3 of 6. Went 2 of 2 from 3, though. He played better. Overall, 8 points, 4 boards. Aaron Bradshaw really struggled. Could not stay on the floor. Picked up 2 fouls early, didn't play the whole first half, and then comes back in and immediately picks up his third. And just could not get going for whatever reason. So I didn't think the last 2 of his fouls were very debatable. I thought the last one was really bad call. He's literally standing straight up, and the A&M guy actually ran into him. I really didn't think that 4th foul was a foul on Bradshaw. I hated to see him because, when he was in there for the little bit of time he changed things. At least on the offensive side of the ball, he really, he didn't score, but they had to honor him. They had to follow him out to the 3-point line and guard him. With Ugo in there, they don't really see him as an outside threat. But I don't want to shout out Ugo because he had to play a huge role with Bradshaw's foul trouble. Played 32 minutes, had 7 points, 10 boards, and 5 blocks. Really good game for Ugo. Best game as a Cat, definitely. On the verge of a double-double and a triple-double. He played as well as he could. Really made a difference on the defensive end, like I said, with 5 blocks. He was all over the place. Played about as good as you can ask him to play. Just sadly, it wasn't enough to pull this one out. Reed Sheppard, 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Also 3 steals. Reed was in a little bit of foul trouble, too. Ended up with 4 fouls. 3 of 5 from the field. All those were 3-point attempts. Reed, he's got to be more aggressive in his shot attempts. There was several times it seemed like that he had open looks that he just, he was looking to pass, which, I love that about him. I do. He's a great passer. Looks to get other teammates involved, but there was times that we really needed him to be more of a scorer where on end of the possession we didn't get as good of a look as we got from the start with Reed being open from 3. So, but I think that'll get. He needs to take more than 5 shots a game, and I think he will. Rob Dillingham didn't really play all that great until the last couple minutes, but when he did, he was on a heater. I thought he was going to single-handedly win the game for us in regulation. Ended with 15 points and 4 assists. Only shot 3 of 10 from 3. That not the best, but you live with it because he can do things like he did at the end of regulation. So we shot 39 threes as a team, and that's pretty wild to me. I'd said target goal 25 to 30 a game, but we played so fast. Both teams played super fast all game long, and I'll take a minute to credit A&M. In no way, shape, or form did I think they could keep up with us. I get it was on their home floor. They were hitting some wild shots, but they flat out kept up with us and more. They earned the win. I don't know about you all, but that's not a team I want to see again, to be honest with you. In the SEC tournament, I think we could beat them on a neutral floor, but I wouldn't be that crazy about playing them, to be honest with you, just because I think they match up with Kentucky better than I originally thought. Henry Coleman didn't do that much on offense, but they've got Wade Taylor, and I don't think Radford, that's another thing, I don't think Radford would have as good of a game if we played again, but man, he went crazy. 11 to 22 from the field, 28 points. Wade Taylor had 31. That was all their scoring. So you look at that and you're like, okay, well, maybe we could, but just different matchups. I wouldn't be that crazy about playing them again. However, I'm always down for a revenge game, so if we get matched up with them in the SEC tournament, bring them on, and I like my team. So, but that's all for a future time, a debate. Wade Taylor showed you why he was the preseason SEC player of the year this game. He just couldn't be stopped. 6 of 13 from 3. But his main thing was just getting to the rim and drawing fouls. He shot 12 free throws, hit 11 of them. And then Tyrese Radford, of course, he got to the rim whenever he wanted. So, like I said, several things to improve on, but in my opinion, does not change on this team based on one game. We got some dogs: Rob Dillingham, DJ Wagner. I love my team. I love the way they play. Previous years, to be honest with you all, that game doesn't even go to overtime. We get beat by about 10 in regulation because, just like in the Florida game, this team dealt with adversity and overcame it and almost came out of there and stole a win. And, you know, the team, whoever was commentating, it might have been Billis, said, you know, you might beat this Kentucky team, but in order to do so, you're going to have to kill them. And that's exactly what A&M had to do. A&M's up late. We come roaring back out of nowhere, and then A&M buries us in overtime. And I think that's one thing you're going to have to do to this team that a lot of teams cannot do in the country. When we respond back, you know, can other teams punch us back in the mouth? And we'll see. But very confident. I'm definitely ready to get Adou Thiero back. I think he would have made a huge difference in this game in particular, just because of what he does, the rebounding, the hustle plays. Texas A&M did out-rebound the Cats, but it wasn't by a huge. They out-rebounded them by 8. A&M comes in leading the country, I think, in offensive rebounds. So they had 25 against us. We only had 17. That was the difference in the game, really. They also shot 82 shots, which is crazy. This game was just up and down the whole way. Super fast speed. And, I mean, you can tell by the final score being 97-92. Kind of felt like an NBA game, to be honest. I would definitely like to see us get more fast break points. We only had 11. I think, you know, that really, when we're on the break, and I've said this all year, I sound like a broken record, I'm sure, but when we're out on the break, I don't think anybody in the country can beat us. So, I want to see those go up. Had 22 assists, had double their assists. That's a big, and that's how we play. You know, we love sharing the ball. And now the Cats are 12-3, 2-1 in SEC play. And Wednesday night, welcome in a Mississippi State team who is not going to be an easy matchup, to be honest with you. Before I get into that, though, the Cats are now ranked 8th in the AP poll that came out this morning. Mississippi State still not ranked, but they did receive votes. UConn is now your new number 1 team in the country. I agree with that. I don't agree, however, with Duke jumping us. Duke is 1 position in front of us at 7th. Although they did win, we lost, I get that, but they only beat Georgia Tech by 5 at home. Duke has some very questionable losses. I know we have 1, but the hype with Duke right now, being up to number 7 in the rankings, I don't understand it because they have not proved to me in any facet that they are worthy of that ranking. But, you know, Tennessee comes in at 6th, Ole Miss 22nd, and Auburn at 13th. Those are your other SEC teams that are ranked. Auburn and Alabama both 3-0 in the conference. Is it time to start taking Auburn serious as a SEC contender? I think it is. I can't wait to play them. I think we play them in February. Yeah, February the 17th at Auburn. I don't think we get them at home. I think we only play them once. Yes, play them once, and it's on the road. So, man, that'll be a tough one. You know, that'll be a tough environment. But that will potentially be a huge game as far as winning the SEC regular season. You know, looking at our schedule, and I want to do this before I get into the Mississippi State breakdown. We've got Mississippi State at home, Georgia at home, at South Carolina, at Arkansas, and Florida at home to end the month of January. I like us going on a little 5-game win streak right here. I really do. Coming off a loss. And if you do win all 5 of these games, you're cooking. You are cooking. You're sitting at 17-3, and 7-1 in the SEC. I mean, then you're looking at a potential 1 seed. To be honest, at that point, if we can win these next 5, I think you're looking at a potential 2 or 1 seed going into the month of February. So we'll see. Still a lot of basketball to be played, but I'm just looking ahead, and I really don't see any reason why we can't win these next 5 games. To be honest with you, obviously the hardest one I think will be at South Carolina. Originally I would say at Arkansas, but I watched them play Florida after our game. I don't know what's going on there with Arkansas, but man, they are not what everyone thought they would be preseason. They're sitting at 9-7, and they are struggling. Florida blew them out, and everybody in the SEC has blew them out. I don't think they've won an SEC game, have they? No, they're 0-3 in conference, 9-7 overall. So I'd say the hardest is at South Carolina. As you all know, we went there, lost there last year, and that's a place, and I think they're a lot better. I think they're a lot better this year than they were last year. So I think, but like I said, no reason why we should not be able to go out here and win the next 5 games. And if we do, how much respect we'll get, we should be top 3 in the country. I'm thinking people will lose by then. So let's get into the Mississippi State game. They are led in scoring. Let's see here. By Josh Hubbard. I watched their Tennessee game. He hit some pretty crazy shots, to be honest with you, against Tennessee to help them close that one out. He's averaging 15 points a game. Only shooting 29% from 3 on the road. But as you all know, Mississippi State's going to come in here just like every other team, and they're going to fill it up. And we've just got to stop them when it matters the most. Obviously, he hasn't played a lot of games this year, and that's why he's not leading the team in any statistical category, but Tolu Smith is their main guy. He's been injured a lot this year, but he's back. He's healthy, and if you can shut him down, I really, really like our chances. But shutting him down is going to be a very big task, similar to trying to shut Wade Taylor down, which we were not able to do. I'm hopeful that Trey Mitchell and Aaron Bradshaw can at least slow down Tolu Smith and make Mississippi State's guards beat us. I think that's the secret to success. Mississippi State also has DJ Jeffries, who was once committed to Kentucky. Feels like he's been in college for 17 years, but he's like a guard/forward. He's more of a facilitator, but he can score the ball when he needs to, so we're obviously going to have to shut him down as well. Mississippi State comes in 12-4, 1-2 in the SEC. Like I said, they beat Tennessee last week, but turned around and lost to Alabama at home, and then lost to South Carolina on the road. So, very beatable opponent, but we are going to have to bring our A game. They will be out and ready to beat us, and that one is at 7 o'clock Wednesday night on ESPN2. And I'm ready to see how we respond off a loss. We've responded off of losses very great in the past this season. We haven't lost 2 in a row all year. So let's see what we can do at home. The crowd, I don't know how big the crowd will be due to the weather aspect of it. As I said, snow everywhere. It's still falling. So will we have a big crowd? I doubt it, to be honest with you. But hopefully the Cats can bring home another win for the Big Blue Nation. Mississippi State only averages 75 points a game. So, I really like the number. But they only allow 65. So, they're going to play similar to A&M in a way that they're going to focus more on defense. But, against us, they're probably going to play different, just like A&M did. And A&M succeeded in having to play different. So, can Mississippi State do the same thing? We will see. We've got to keep them off the glass. Got to keep Tolu Smith off the glass, in particular. And, I think you win this game. So, we'll see. I'm glad we get them home, but we also play them on the road later this year. think at the end of February. Yes, end of February we go there. So we need to get this one at home, get back on the winning track, and hopefully we are recapping a big win for the Cats. I'm going to go with the score of 87-79. I think the Cats win by 8 points. And the MVP of the game, I think, will be... Give me a Trey Mitchell bounce-back game. I think he will play very well against Tolu Smith. And, offensively, I think he'll do well, too, since he just had 8 points. Didn't shoot the ball very well. Against A&M, I'm taking Trey to have a bounce-back performance against Mississippi State, and the Cats win by 8, and I think we celebrate. So after this, we have Georgia coming in on Saturday. That's another team that is very solid. Took Tennessee down to should have beat Tennessee. They took them down to the wire, but had them down, and Tennessee just roared back and ended up winning. So hopefully we can get 2 wins in the SEC this week, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing this team get back on the court. I'm sure they are itching to get back. I know based on Rob Dillingham's post-game comments that I saw, the team was pretty ticked that they let that one get away from them there in College Station. So I want to see some resolve out of this group. I'm sure we will. We've saw it all year long. After dropping the game, them coming back strong the next one and really doing good things. So as always, it's Go Cats. And like I said, everybody stay warm, stay safe. And thank you all for talking with me during the games. As always, it's always fun to do that, and I appreciate every one of you. So, as always, it's been JD's Wildcat World. Listen on Apple and Spotify. Continue to like, listen, share, rate, and review. And let's get this win on Wednesday night against Mississippi State. Get back to our winning ways. And it's always Go Cats. Thank you.